Hi, Dr. Min. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. We are very grateful for this time and that you share with us. Thank you. And I'm Paola Bustos. I'm studying of the PhD in Organizational Studies. And we want to ask for some questions, if you agree with that. Well, in my opinion, I consider that BIET has a great cultural organization. I would like to know more about your strategies in happiness and wellness, because I'm very interested on how you deal with stress into the office and in a daily routine. And what is your opinion about virtual working? For you, it's important have this contact with your colleagues and face to face. No, in nowadays we can work in any place in the world, but how, as your CEO, is important have this kind of physical contact? Thank you.
Thank you, Paola. I'm happy to be here. I'm Min Hadyong, so I'm a researcher from Paris, and I'm at the SBC conference to share my experience on creating the Vietnam initiative for energy transition social enterprise in Hanoi. And as for your first question about the stress in the office, I think we had our stressful moments, but we tried to preempt them by organizing a happy workplace. And how did we do that? Well, we worked on the architecture of the office. So we tried to have a landscape office with different poles, so everybody looking at each other, and with lots of plants and arts, and a glass meeting room. And we also tried to implement the celebration at least every month, to have the team to meet outside work and to recognize the success of the project. And also the annual meeting is a moment to relax. And so we can say Vietse was a company with a culture that was quite different from the culture of the typical Vietnamese company. And that helped us to attract lots of talent. So even if we had deadlines, and in a think tank we have lots of events to organize and reports to produce, I think people in Vietnam, and especially in our company, worked very hard.
Very interesting strategies, and congratulations for that. Another question is from Karina and Lisbeth.
Hello, Karina and Lisbeth.
How can we encourage for-profit companies to invest in projects with social impact? And how we can generate conscious about climate change to CEOs in many organizations in order to invest in this kind of topics that are very urgent nowadays?
Yes, for CEOs usually are driven by the profit,
yes,
not by impact. And we can see that at the moment, perhaps the world is taking a step back, and many companies in the fossil fuel sector, for example, are getting back on their word and are relaunching investments in exploration and production, and that's a very worrying trend. So how can we as a workers and as a consumers curb the trend? Well, as workers, I think it's already visible that the young generations they don't want to work in the same kind of companies as in the previous generations, and that the mission is very important. For example, my son, he is an engineer in water and agriculture, so he spent a few months in a company to lay pipe, but he dropped that out, and now he's working in gardening as a gardener. And the way to influence the companies is to choose where you work. And even if he had a better income and career being an engineer, he chose to live and to start as a gardener. And he even tried to be a farmer, but he realized that he cannot make a living as a farmer. So he's in it's not a social impact company, but at least it's a company with values. He's working in a company, he didn't make compromise on his values. And then as a consumer, you have also the possibility to make choices. For example, our household recently subscribed to an association where we buy products directly from the farmer. So we don't go to the supermarket, but we get to support a farmer we know. So that's someone who lives near our city, and he produces local fruits and vegetables, and of course organic. So it's one example of the choices where we can influence the companies to be more sustainable.
Great. Yeah, small steps and small decisions can make a big, important change. No?
Well, yes, you can also try to start think tanks and change the mindset of the decision makers and at the ministerial level. But it's easier if you have a Nobel Prize.
Yeah. Okay. The last one is from Diana. The last one question.
Hi, Diana.
We are very interested in your projects in Viet. We consider that Viet has a great, successful projects. How can bring these ideas to our country, to Mexico? What we need to make it possible and generate projects with the same line here in our country?
Well, there's a sisterhood of energy transition think tanks. Yeah, so Viet actually has a counterpart in Mexico named IDEA. Okay. So you can call them and ask them for internship or even a job if you want. And you will be not only in a Mexican think tank trying to accelerate the energy transition in Mexico, but you will be in an international network, and there will be conferences abroad, training abroad, and lots of movements. Even one of the things we promoted in our think tank is for the students in Vietnam after they spend 4 years to get a bachelor degree. It's very common that the people step out of a university and work for 2 years to get a better understanding of the real life, and also to regenerate their savings. And going to a think tank at this stage of your career is very useful, because think tanks are international, and so it's a good place to see where you can go abroad. And I can say many staff and young junior analysts in think tanks of our energy transition networks get to study abroad and do internships in other think tanks of the network. And it's also a good landing place when you come back after your PhD abroad. You can spend 1 year or maybe 3 months working for the think tanks, and you will be welcome, senior analyst. Your help will be needed to produce the reports, and you will know the networking inside the country also.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.